How often do you think about copyright law? Probably not often, but everywhere you go, you're surrounded by copyrighted things. All creative works carry copyrights that give their owners exclusive rights to use their works. The internet complicates copyright law because any original work a person puts online is automatically granted an all rights reserved status. Yet the internet gives us the freedom to easily access and change someone else's copyrighted material. To help stop this, Congress passed the Digital Millennium Copyright Act in 1998. Although it set out with good intentions, the DMCA has done little to end the abuse of intellectual property online, and it's causing more harm than good. So what went wrong?
It hasn't worked out like they thought it would. It has, I think one of the most important things it's done is that it's given the people who had an interest in the way things were in the past, it's given them a crutch to keep from evolving into new business models and new ways of dealing with their content in the present and in the future. So it's actually slowed down the evolution of more useful, more creative ways of dealing with the new environment. And that to me is a big tragedy, but at least people are beginning to realize that it doesn't really help and that we should be looking for other solutions.
By and large, the DMCA has created a restrictive environment online. So what about creativity? Creativity is living on. Take the example of mashups, which are parts of other people's work recombined to make a new work. Here's an example of a mashup of the movies Toy Story 2 and Requiem for a Dream.
Anybody want to waste some time?
But soon, I'm going on a diet.
We need to get us a piece of this Brody shit, cut it up, and off it.
We double our money easy.
That'd be righteous.
Anybody want to waste some time?
Mashups aren't the only way to keep creativity alive. There's also open source software, which allows anyone, anywhere, to collaborate with others and become a software developer.
That model for cooperative production, especially in the software area where having the source code open is such an important part of the reason that process works. But that whole model of people working together to solve problems that would be very difficult to solve if they weren't, can be replicated in other areas of science and in knowledge. So I think the future for open source is extremely good.
The reason open source software and mashups are possible is because of alternative copyright schemes like copyleft and the Creative Commons, which allow people to decide which rights they want to give away and which rights they want to keep. So instead of all rights reserved, the copyright becomes some rights reserved. In this way, we are all free to use the work of others so that the sum of creativity is much bigger than its original parts.
Most people don't need everything that the Copyright Act gives them. In fact, they don't need anything in many cases. But the law gives it to them anyway, and it gives them to them for around 100 years now. And the Creative Commons allows us as individuals to say, no, I don't need that and I don't want it, and I think it's harmful, in fact, to have it, so I'm giving it up.
So what is the future of intellectual property online? Is it the restriction of creativity given to us by the DMCA? Or is it the freedom to collaborate and build on the works of others? The future could go either direction, and it is up to us to decide which.